next chemical property of alkene is oxidation of alkene. In this, different product will be obtained in different conditions of oxidation. So what will be happening in this case? First, complete oxidation. As you can understand with the term, in excess supply of oxygen, there will be complete oxidation of alkene will takes place. It means it will be converted into CO2 and H2O. This is known as complete oxidation. So what will be happening in this case? Example, CH2 double bond CH2 in the presence of oxygen heated to form CO2 and H2O, and a large amount of energy will be released in this step. How much energy is released? 1 kilojoule per mole. Large amount of energy is released during the complete oxidation of this alkene. So this is highly exothermic reaction. So what is happening? First of all, you have to balance the reaction. 3 molecule of oxygen, so there will be formation of 2 molecule of CO2 and 2 molecule of H2O. This is balanced reaction. Second is incomplete oxidation. So as you can understand with the term, in this the limited supply of oxygen will be there. This reaction is occurring in the presence of silver catalyst. Catalyst is silver. So what will be happening in this case? There will be formation of epoxide will takes place. In this, epoxide is forming the presence of half O2. That means in this case there is a limited supply of oxygen is there. So the product which will be formed is epoxide. What is happening? This pi bond will be broken. So there will be formation of cyclic product will be taking place, which the one part of the cyclic system is oxygen. This is known as propylene epoxide. This is propylene epoxide. This is common name. IUPAC name will be epoxy propane. So this reaction is occurring in the presence of catalyst, that is silver. Next, oxidation of alkene is done by the help of oxidizing agent, that is KMnO4. It is potassium permanganate. So what will be happening in this case? First, when we react alkene with cold dilute alkaline KMnO4, in this case hydroxyl group will attack on the carbon which are attached by the double bond. So what will be happening in this case? CH3, CH double bond CH2 in the presence of KMnO4, which is cold dilute alkaline KMnO4. It means the temperature of the reaction is less, that is around 298 to 303 Kelvin temperature. So what will be happening in this case? In this case, hydroxyl group will attack on the carbon which are attached by the double bond. So in this case there will be formation of 1,2-diol will takes place. So what will be the name of this compound? Propane 1,2-diol, and there will be formation of MnO2 and KOH will takes place. So let's see how the oxidation of alkene is done by the help of cold dilute KMnO4. In this case, first of all, KMnO4, first step, KMnO4 will react with water. 2 molecule of KMnO4 will be taken. So there will be formation of 2 KOH molecule, 2 MnO2 and 3 nascent oxygen will be released. It means this oxidizing agent is responsible for the oxidation of this alkene because it is releasing nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen is, that is, it is atomic oxygen, so it is highly reactive. So what will happen in the second step? In second step, this nascent oxygen which is released in the first step will react with this alkene in the presence of water. So there will be formation of CH3, CHOH, CH2OH. So there will be formation of dialcohol will takes place. So in this case the reaction is not balanced. In the second step there are only 1 nascent oxygen, whereas in the first step nascent oxygen which are released is 3. So we have to multiply the second step by 3. So now this reaction is balanced. Now the overall reaction will be represented as overall reaction. So how to write overall reaction? First of all, you have to write all the reactants which are present at the left hand side. So what will be the reactant? 2 KMnO4 plus water molecules are, this is one water molecule, this is second water molecule. So there are two water molecule, 2H2O. This is propene. This nascent oxygen which is present on the left hand side will be cancelled by the nascent oxygen which are present on the right hand side, as the reaction of the second step is balanced. So it means in this case also there is 3 nascent oxygen because we have balanced the reaction. So these 2 nascent oxygen which are present on the left and right hand side will be cancelled. Now you have to write all the products which are present on the right hand side. What will be the product? 2KOH, 2MnO2 and CH3, CHOH, CH2OH. Now this reaction is balanced. This reaction is used for unsaturation test. It means it is detecting the presence of double bond. If there is double bond is present in the hydrocarbon, then this reaction will detect the presence of double bond. How it is detecting? Because the KMnO4 is having pink color. This pink color in the presence of this alkene will be decolorizes, and there will be formation of precipitate, that is manganese oxide, which is having brown color. So this color change of KMnO4 in the presence of alkene will give unsaturation test, due to which this is also known as Bayer's test. So this test is used for test of unsaturation. Next is oxidation of alkene by using hot KMnO4. It means this KMnO4 is heated to temperature of, so this KMnO4 will be heated to high temperature, that is 373 to 383 Kelvin temperature. At this high temperature, when alkene is reacted with the KMnO4, that is hot KMnO4, then there will be cleavage of carbon-carbon will takes place. And whenever terminal alkenes are taken, there will be always the formation of one of the product will always be formic acid. So let's see by the help of example. CH2 double bond CH2 in the presence of nascent oxygen which is released by the KMnO4. This is heated to 373 to 383 Kelvin. So what will be happening at this temperature? This KMnO4 will cleave this carbon-carbon double bond. So there will be formation of 2 molecule of formic acid, and on further oxidation in the presence of KMnO4, it will be converted into, that is, it will completely oxidize to give CO2 and H2O. In the presence of nascent oxygen which is released by the KMnO4, when KMnO4 react with water, there will be release of nascent oxygen will be taking place. Temperature is same. So what will be happening in this case? There will be formation of, first of all, this bond will be cleaved. So this is one carbon, there are 2 carbon, so it will form acetic acid, whereas this carbon will form formic acid. This formic acid on further oxidation will give CO2 and H2O. This is branched alkene. So what will be happening in the case of branched alkene? Reaction conditions are same. So in this case there is formation of 2 molecule of acetone is taking place. As you can see in this case, carbon is forming 2 covalent bond with this methyl group, whereas 2 bond with this carbon. But when there is in the presence of hot KMnO4, carbon-carbon cleavage will takes place. In this case, carbon will be now having 2 electrons available for covalent bond formation. So what will be happening? This carbon which is having 2 electron available will react with the oxygen. So oxygen also needed 2 electron to complete its octet. Because of the oxygen is also having two electrons deficiency, due to which there will be sharing of electron will be taking place between oxygen and this carbon, due to which there will be formation of double bond will takes place. This is the reason, because of that in this case there will be formation of ketone is taking place. How reaction is occurring in the case of these alkenes in which there is formation of carboxylic acid is taking place, not aldehyde, not ketone, because it is also following the tetracovalency. So how the reaction is taking place in this case? CH3, when we represent the open structure of this molecule, due to the cleavage of this double bond, each carbon will take away its 2 electron. So there will be formation of this species will takes place, which is highly reactive. Now the octet of this carbon is not complete, due to which this species will react with the nascent oxygen. So oxygen is also having 6 electron in the outermost shell, so it also want to complete its octet, due to which it will react with the carbon. So there will be formation of, this carbon is having 2 electrons, this oxygen is also having 2 electrons for the sharing, due to which there will be sharing takes place, and there will be formation of double bond will takes place. While the second oxygen will oxidize this CH bond, due to which there will be formation of, will also react with the oxygen to complete its octet. So what will be happening? There will be sharing of electron will be taking place, due to which double bond will be formed. One of the hydrogen will again oxidize in the presence of nascent oxygen, so there will be formation of HCOH double bond O. Next oxidation reaction of alkene is done by the help of ozonolysis. This reaction is occurring in the presence of ozone. So what will be happening in this reaction? CH2 double bond CH2, that is alkene. This is symmetrical alkene in the presence of ozone, and solvent, that is inert solvent, will be taken. So inert solvent can be CH2Cl2 or CHCl3 can also be taken, that is chloroform, or CCl4 can also be taken, that is carbon tetrachloride. So either of the solvent can be taken. Temperature is low, that is 196 Kelvin to 200 Kelvin. This will form ozonoid compound. Because of that, this reaction is named as ozonolysis. This will form ozonoid compound, which is highly explosive. It means it is highly unstable. This double bond will be broken, so there will be formation of CH2, CH2, O. This is ozonoid compound. In the presence of zinc dust and water, reductive cleavage of this ozonoid compound will takes place. It means the product which will be formed is having less number of oxygen in comparison to this ozonoid compound. So what will be happening? How the reductive cleavage is taking place? This bond will be broken like this, and this will be like this. So the cleavage of bond will occur in this way, due to which this oxygen will be removed and combined with this zinc. So there will be removal of ZNO will takes place. So the formation of HCHO will takes place, that is formaldehyde. This reaction is taking place. This oxygen will take away its electron. This carbon will take away its electron. This oxygen will also take away its electron. This oxygen will also take away its electron. Similarly with this. So what will be happening? There will be 1 electron on this carbon and 1 electron on this oxygen, due to which there will be double bond formation between carbon and oxygen. So when double bond will be formed between carbon and oxygen, and there are 2 hydrogen, so the tetracovalency of this carbon is followed. Similarly with, in this case, there will also be double bond formation between carbon and oxygen. So because of that, 2 molecule of HCHO will be obtained, that is formaldehyde. This reaction, this ozonoid cannot directly react with water. In this case, as you can see, this ozonoid is reacted in the presence of zinc dust. If it is directly reacted with water, then there will be formation of H2O2 will takes place, that is hydrogen peroxide. So if the formation of H2O2 will takes place, due to which this formaldehyde which is formed in this reaction will further oxidize acid, due to which this reaction will be known as oxidative cleavage. Ozonolysis help in detecting the position of double bond on the basis of product which will be formed. Example, this is substituted alkene. What will be happening in this case? First step of ozonolysis will be occurring in the presence of ozone. Solvent is CH2Cl2. Temperature is 196 Kelvin. Second step, reaction in the presence of zinc dust and water. This is known as reductive cleavage. The final product which will be obtained, CH3C, CH3 double bond O and HCHO. It means by the help of ozonolysis we can identify the position of the double bond. So instead of taking zinc or platinum, we can also use this dimethyl sulfide. So what will be happening in this case if we do the reductive cleavage of this ozonoid by the help of this disulfide? So in the presence of disulfide, there will be reductive cleavage will be taking place, due to which the formation of, that is in this case there will be formation of carbon double bond oxygen, carbon double bond oxygen, and this oxygen will combine with the sulfur. So what will be the formation? In this two molecule of HCHO, that is aldehyde, will be forming, and removal of CH3S CH3 which will double bond with the oxygen. This is known as DMSO. What do you mean by DMSO? Dimethyl sulfoxide. Why the pure compound is obtained in this case? Because this product, that is DMSO, this is volatile, so it will easily evaporate. So there will be pure compound of aldehyde and ketones will be obtained in the case of dimethyl sulfide. We can also determine the position of double bond in particular alkene by using the reagent, that is Liebig's reagent. In this there will be use of aqueous solution of NaIO4, that is sodium periodate, and trace amount of, that is very little amount of KMnO4 is used. First of all, alkene will be reacted in the presence of KMnO4. KMnO4 is oxidizing agent. It will be releasing nascent oxygen which is responsible for the oxidation of alkene. So what will be happening in the presence of KMnO4? This double bond will be cleaved and there will be formation of carbon OH bond, that is hydroxylation will be taking place. The carbon-carbon between which the double bond is present, on both the carbon OH will be attached. So in this case there will be formation of CH3, CH, OH, CH, OH, CH3. This is 1,2 diol condition. In the next step, this diol compound will be treated with aqueous solution of sodium periodate. So what will be happening? NaIO4. So there will be splitting of this carbon-carbon bond will be taking place. That is, it is also known as 1,2 diol splitting, due to which there will be formation of CH3CHO, two molecule of CH3CHO will be taking place. It will further react with KMnO4. KMnO4 is behaving as oxidizing agent, so it will release nascent oxygen. So in the presence of nascent oxygen, this reaction only trace amount of KMnO4 is used, because in this case the reaction is taking place in the moderate condition, and the KMnO4 which is reduced during this reaction, that is the lower oxidation of manganese, will further oxidize to give KMnO4 during this reaction, due to which only little amount of KMnO4 is needed. Next chemical property which is shown by alkene is polymerization. What is polymerization? In polymerization, large number of a small molecule combine with each other by the help of covalent bond. That molecules are known as monomers. these monomers combine with each other to form large molecular mass of compound that is known as polymer. So that reaction is known as polymerization. So what will be the example of polymerization? There are many examples of polymerization which are formed by alkenes. N molecules of ethene combine with each other at the temperature of 473 Kelvin atmosphere, and trace of oxygen when used, then there will be formation of large molecular mass of this polymer will be taking place. This is known as polyethene. In the presence of propene, this reaction is taking place in the presence of peroxide. In this case, the peroxide is benzoyl peroxide, and in this also there will be use of Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Ziegler-Natta catalyst can also be used for the preparation of polymer. So what will be the polymer which will be formed in this case? The polymer which is formed in this case, and this is polypropene. Substituted alkene, this is vinyl chloride. This is vinyl chloride. So when n number of this vinyl chloride will react, so there will be formation of CH2, CHCl, polyvinyl chloride. Now next property which we will be going to study in alkenes, that is physical property. What are the physical property? First, physical state. Lower member of alkene from C2 to C4 are gases, whereas C5 to C18 are liquid in liquid state. C19 onwards are solids. Only ethene is pleasant smelling, while the other alkenes are colorless and odorless. Only ethene is pleasant smelling. Second property is boiling point. In the case of boiling point, as the molecular mass will increases of alkene, greater will be its boiling point. With every increase of CH2 unit in alkenes, the boiling point will increase from 20 to 30 Kelvin temperature. And second point is straight chain alkene have greater boiling point in comparison to branched chain alkene. Why straight chain alkene is having greater boiling point in comparison to branch chain alkene? It is because of that is van der Waals force of attraction. Greater will be the surface area, greater will be the point of attachment within the molecule, due to which greater will be the van der Waals forces. Because of that, the straight chain alkenes having greater surface area, due to which their boiling point is higher in comparison to branch chain alkenes. Because in the case of branch chain alkene, they will minimize their surface area. It means they will acquire a spherical shape, due to which the surface area of contact will decrease. Because of that, the van der Waals forces decrease in the case of branch chain alkene, due to which the boiling point will decrease. Next, third point, they are generally soluble in petrol, ether, benzene. They are generally soluble in non-polar solvent. Next, fourth, density. Their density is lesser than water. We know that alkene show geometrical isomer. What is geometrical isomer? In geometrical isomer, alkene will either form cis isomer or trans isomer. So on the basis of type of isomer they are showing, their physical property will get affected. So let's see by the help of example how the physical property get affected in the case of alkenes isomer. So first property which we will be going to study is melting point. This is trans alkene, this is cis alkene. So what is happening in this case? The melting point of trans alkene is greater than cis alkene. Why the melting point of trans alkene is greater? Because of the packing of this trans alkene. When these molecules are present in the adjacent position with each other in the crystal lattice, so the terminal alkyl group which is present here, that is methyl, is on the opposite direction of each adjacent alkene, due to which which the repulsion between these alkyl group will be less. Why the packing in this case is much more efficient? Because both the methyl groups are on opposite direction and both the hydrogen also are on opposite direction, due to which there will be less steric hindrance, less repulsion. Because of that, the trans alkenes are much more packed in crystal lattice. If adjacent alkene is present in the crystal lattice, then you can see in this case both the methyls are on the same direction. Because of that, there will be steric hindrance created, that is repulsion between these alkyl group will be created. Because of that, the packing of this alkene, cis alkene, is less efficient in this case. Because of that, the melting point of cis alkene is less than trans alkene. Why the solubility of cis alkene is more than trans alkene? It can be explained on the basis of the packing. The packing of cis alkene is less efficient in the crystal lattice, due to which very less energy will be required to break the crystal lattice of cis alkene, whereas in the trans alkene packing is much more efficient, due to which large amount of energy will be required to break the crystal lattice of trans alkene, due to which the solubility of cis alkene will be more. So why the dipole moment is 0 for the trans alkene? Let's see. In this case, if you see the hybridization of this carbon, which is doubly bonded with the another carbon, this is sp2 hybridized. This is also sp2 hybridized. This carbon is sp3 hybridized. This carbon is also sp3 hybridized. So greater will be the s character, greater will be the electronegativity of that carbon, due to which the sigma electrons are shifted towards from this sp3 hybridized carbon to this sp2 hybridized carbon. This direction is representing the dipole moment, which is representing the direction of the electron, that is the shift of electron from one atom to another atom. In this case, there will be partial positive charge will occur on these two methyls and partial negative charge will occur on these two carbon which are doubly bonded. Because of that, the net dipole moment is directed towards these carbon, due to which in this case the dipole moment is 0.33, which is higher than the trans alkenes. In this case, there will be partial positive charge will occur on this carbon and partial negative charge on this carbon. Similarly, partial positive, partial negative. So this direction of positive to negative is representing the direction of dipole. ठीक है, in this case this is one dipole, this is one dipole, both are on the opposite direction, so they will cancel each other, due to which in the case of trans alkenes the net dipole moment is 0. Boiling point is dependent upon the dipole moment. Greater will be the dipole moment, greater will be the boiling point. In this case, as the dipole moment of this cis is 0.33, whereas dipole moment of this trans is 0, because of that the boiling point of this cis isomer will be greater than that of trans.